Hi, my name is Munya Duvera, management consultant in Johannesburg, and today I want to speak to you about investment banking. One of my favorite topics, along with corporate finance, mergers and acquisitions, leverage buyouts, basically anything in finance. And today, very briefly, I'm going to explain what investment banking is all about and what services they provide. And the first thing you've got to understand about investment banking is that investment banks do not take deposits. They're not depository banks, unlike your traditional commercial banks such as ABSA, Standard Bank, FNB, where you can go and open a savings account to deposit your money and withdraw it whenever you feel like it. Well, investment banks such as Rand Merchant Bank here in South Africa do not take deposits. So what do investment banks do? Well, investment banks offer financial related services to individuals, corporations, and governments through, number one, the underwriting or sponsoring of issuing of shares. So for an example, I once spoke of initial public offering, which is a video you can find on my YouTube channel. And what investment banks do is they'll act as the sponsor, they'll act as the underwriter for that client, for that company that wants to list on the stock exchange. So they'll perform such duties as valuing the company. For the investor community to buy shares in the initial public offering, they need to know what is each stock valued at. So investment banks will determine the value of each stock. And number two, investment banks can help companies that want to list on the stock exchange with preparing a document called a prospectus. A prospectus is a document that has information about the company that wants to issue its shares to the public for the very first time. Because as an investor, you have to make informed decisions, and you can only make informed decisions if the company gives you that information. So investment bank will underwrite, will sponsor by giving this business advisory services on how to list on the stock exchange. Number two, mergers and acquisitions. They will advise companies on how or who to acquire or who to merge with. So for an example, if a business wants to expand through acquiring a competitor or any other company within the market in that industry, investment banks can find them targets. They can identify which would be the best target, which would be the best company to merge or to acquire. On the other side, if a company wants to sell itself, investment banks can identify buyers for that company. Market making. Essentially, market making is when an investment bank ensures that at any given time on the stock exchange, there is someone to buy or sell the stock. So for an example, if I was to go to the stock market and I wanted to buy Samsung shares, how do I know that there's someone out there who wants to sell their Samsung shares? What if no one wants to sell their Samsung shares? So what investment banks do is they hold shares just for the sake of that core purpose, just for when Munya comes and wants to buy a Samsung share. At the same token, investment banks are always ready to buy shares. So if I own a Samsung share and I want to get rid of it, how do I know there's someone out there who's going to buy it? What investment banks do is they will buy it because they want to make sure that there is a market. Without investment banks who act as market makers, there will be no market, because I can come to the stock market and there's no one to buy my stock. In the same token, there's no one to sell the stock which I want to buy. Therefore, they market make. They don't make much money off it, but it's something that is necessary and it's something that they do. Next, trading. This is where investment banks make most of their money. In trading, this is where they make the bulk of their cash. And companies like Goldman Sachs, Rand Merchant Bank here in South Africa, are extremely good at trading, and they trade for themselves and they trade for their clients, and they make massive returns on trading. Next, developing products and services. This is where investment banks create certain products on the stock market, in the financial markets. Have you ever gone to the stock exchange, on the financial market, and you find certain products being sold and you don't understand who made them or where they came from? Well, investment banks put these products together and they tempt you with them, and they'll say, buy this product for 100,000 Rand, and in a few years it will become X amount in terms of profit. And if it does not make a profit, the very least that will happen is we'll give you your 100,000 Rand back. So these are products that are made by investment banks, and they're there, and they create them so that they keep the financial markets going. Then there's general financial advice. I'll come back to Chinese wall. General financial advice. So they give general financial advice to individuals, as I said, to corporations and to governments. This can be anything from what to invest in, to how to diversify their portfolio, to how to grow their business, or what to invest in, anything financially related in terms of advice. And finally, Chinese wall. The question then has always been with investment banks, because what has happened over the past 2 decades or 3 decades is that commercial banks such as ABSA have also have an investment banking division, and it's called ABSA Capital. So the question was always, how do you separate information from coming from this side to this side? Because what stops the investment banking side from gathering information about your business, about your transactions, which we give willingly to the banking side of it? So what was devised in almost every government or policy in the world is a Chinese wall, which basically means that these two divisions must not cross. Information must not be shared. Who ensures that happens? I don't know. But somehow they say Chinese wall must be in a bank that is both a commercial bank that takes deposits and an investment bank that offers financial services, these financial services to the investment community. I hope this video has been helpful. In a nutshell, investment banking. If you want more information, you can go on my website. I've written about investment banking. You can give me a call, you can send me an email, and let's talk business. Follow me on Twitter at Munya Duvera. My contact details are on my website, munyaduvera.co.za.